Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am super excited to slowly be transitioning back into the world of videos and interviews and just coming back to life, back to my business, back to service of you and the world. If you don't know me, my name is Jennifer Hart. A lot of people call me Jen Hart, like one word. There's so many out there. And what I do is I consider myself a connector. I help people that are looking for change, growth, development. Maybe they're having a spiritual awakening, and I connect them with the resources, the people, the events, and the services that they might need to help guide them and support them on their journey. And today we have a super awesome special guest that I have known for a while now, and she is amazing. Her name is Maria Heartsong, and she is an intuitive healer, Heartsong Alchemist, love that, yoga teacher and purpose clarity coach who's based in Sweden and working worldwide. After being burnt out twice, leaving her deeply depressed and suicidal, she found healing in music and the power of choice. That is so powerful in itself. This made her access the gift of creating healing, high vibrational songs. With her Heartsong activations, coaching programs, and sacred heart awakening journeys, she inspires women how to use intention, music, movement, playfulness, and their own voice to consciously creating their lives and reconnecting with their soulful creative abilities, divine feminine power, and higher purpose. Let me bring her on. Hello, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So you are my first person back in this newly in progress, restructured business that I am creating to help others in the world who are on the same path as myself, the same path as you, because although you're a healer and a guide, you're still having your own journey, right? As an explorer. I think that's what I'm going to refer to them as explorers in this world. So thank you for being here today. I'm so excited. Yay!
Yay!
I like to always tell people how we know each other. So Maria and I, we met at a coaching, we were in a coaching year-long program together. And it was really magical. We learned so much and we've always kept in touch. I actually just attended her full moon. Would you call this ceremony or ritual?
It was a clear and create ceremony.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And that was so powerful. We kind of did like a mini, everything she talked about in her bio with the music and the movement and the voice and the playfulness. We did just a little bit of that. And you are doing those every month, right?
I'm doing at least 2 more this fall. So in October and November.
Okay, and those are free to attend, for women only.
Yeah.
Sorry, then I'll find something else for you, but there'll probably still be things that you can learn here for yourself. So it is women only. You are doing those. I know that wasn't planned that I was going to talk about it, but you know, I just like to go along with what comes up. I'm just being guided, you know.
It's okay.
Okay, so tell me, like, I know I said it in your bio, but I always like to hear the words from you. Like, how do you help people in the world? Like, that's the best way I could describe it, the question.
Well, how do I help people in the world? I try to the best of my ability to show up authentically and to use my own life journey and my own challenges and the resources that I find and the practices that works for me, I share with my community.
I love that.
And how I do that is I thrive from being inspired by others, and I also thrive inspiring others. So I love to bring very down to earth, tangible tips and tools to people that can bring a shift in their everyday lives, even if they just try it once. And then I also, since my own healing journey has been a lot around the voice and also movement. I love to inspire women to really use their body's innate wisdom and allow the energy at hand. If we are frustrated, there's energy there.
Mhm.
If we allow it to move by moving our bodies, by expressing our voices, it will shift. And then I also discovered this gift of bringing in high frequency songs. And I do these both as personal activations for people that want to explore this way of healing and coming more into who you are.
Mhm.
If you would come to me for a heart song activation, we would talk about what areas you might need energetic support in, and then I tap into what I believe is your higher heart, your higher self, and a song comes through, and it will be filled with frequencies that will assist you. And it's kind of out of the box, but also very magical, because the women, so far it has been only women, although this is not simply only for women, these activations. They come back to me and they let me know how transformative that experience has been. And it's not only a listen and take it in experience. I really encourage the women to use the song in their own way, like they could dance to it. I know one woman, she was an artist, so she painted to the song. You can garden to it, you can cook to it, and of course you can sing it yourself. And when we use our own voice, that is the most powerful healing voice for you.
Mhm.
Then it's like it's something really shifts within, because each of our cells, they listen, they carry memory, and we have normally given them not so nice things to hear. And then when we start feeding our body, our system, our emotional body with these high vibe words, big shifts are happening.
I love that. So you do this through coaching, you do one-on-one coaching, you have an upcoming group program, a year-long group program coming up that's starting soon. We'll get into that. Are you still doing the heart song activation readings, like the birthday ones and stuff like
the heart song readings, yes,
Yeah.
I do that. And that is also a fun thing that wasn't really planned, but it happened and people liked it. So I do like an oracle reading, but I don't talk much. I sing the reading instead.
Yeah, so I've experienced that multiple times. It's really awesome. And what I love is that when you were on my show, I don't know what to call it, for the very first time, I challenged you to do a live heart song reading. It wasn't a reading, but just like a live song activation. And so what we did is we gathered all these words. I posted on my Facebook and we asked people, like, what are some words that you'd want in the song? And then I sent you the words, and on the spot, it was on the spot, you made up a song that was like, so it's almost like you're like a rapper, but like in high song frequency. You know what I mean? Like how rappers have that, they can just on the spot, like make these cool raps up, and it's such a talent and a gift. That's you, but in like the spiritual vibrational frequency of like transformation and manifestation.
And I am so grateful to you, Jen, because that was the first time I did it like live like that. And so you made me open up this gift a little bit more, to trust it more, because it was as surprising to me as it was to you and maybe
Yeah.
the people that were listening.
Yeah.
I wasn't really prepared for that, but that then opened up to dare to do these readings. That is, yeah, done on the spot too.
And I just want to say real quick, like about that is I feel like one of my gifts and superpowers is that I give people the space to be seen, to come and share their gifts and to connect them with people that need their gifts and their services. But also I, on the practitioner, the guides, like the entrepreneurial side, it's like I kind of give little nudges of what my intuition is like, oh, we should do this. And then I feel like I create that safe space for people to, like you said, yes, you know what I mean? You could have been like, hell no, but you were like, okay, I'll do it with you. And then I'm here with you. And then you did it and it was freaking phenomenal. And then it opened a whole new realm of your business. And you're not the first person that's happened on these shows. And that's like the magic of what these are. Like there's the interviews and the videos, it's multifaceted. And so I just wanted to like, thank you for being one of the first people that I challenged and you accepted. And
So valuable.
Magic is just like rippling out and people are affected by this and they're getting change and transformation and results. And you know, I had my birthday reading that you did. It was the Heartsong Oracle, and that was phenomenal. I've been wanting to go back and listen to it. Like you said, like you need to infuse it in your life every day. And I'm like, yeah, I need to listen to that like when I wake up first thing or when I go to bed. Like that's what's calling for me, is to just listen and be present with it. And then who knows, maybe I'll be dancing, or I like the paint idea too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that is, those readings, though, they might be calling on you. I remember a client that she had a reading and she was reminded of it over and over again, but she didn't go back to it. And after a while, her reading started to call on me. So I had to contact her and let her know, I think you better listen to your reading again.
I wrote it down. Song. Because I've been thinking about it and I was like, it's calling to me. Yeah. So, and that's the power of like when people work with you, it's like they get this tangible item to take away and to still be in the power and the energy and to use it on their transformational journey, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I want to add also that I think what I do, besides that there are actual words and messages, there are frequencies and a space that assists people to tap into their own guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to it, you can receive guidance yourself that you might not have been as easily accessed for you, because it's like this portal in a way.
Yeah, I love that. Tell me, so how did you get started? I always find that story to be interesting for people. It's like, what catapulted you on your own healing journey, and then also like the journey to come back and help guide others?
So it's a long story, but I can take a couple of quick things. What really started opened up the music for me was my dark night of the soul. When I
wait, can you say what a dark night of the soul is first?
Yeah, well, it is a very challenging time in one's life where you question everything. Maybe everything is falling apart, like everything is going down the drain. And it's a spiritual awakening often. And for me, I didn't want to live. I really was that deeply depressed. And it was one day in that depression that I heard from within. It was my own voice, inner voice, that said, I have songs inside of me. And that simple phrase took me into action. the next day I bought a recording device because I felt the truth that yes, that is true. I have songs inside of me. And I started to record, and the first attempts were not anything that I would like to play here for you, but it gave me hope. And then after some emotional healing, I had a coach, I went to a therapist. So after about maybe 6 or 9 months, the first song came through in the way that they come now, which is really, it's like downloading them from internet. It's often a very quick process.
Yes.
And then that happened. It was very intense. It was like 20 songs in a week or something coming through. And that was amazing. And it was like talking to the universe.
Yeah.
But it was quite challenging to receive that gift also, because I knew that it meant that I needed to be visible and to bring it to people, because I could see the potency of the music, and I was not ready to do that. So it took me 20 years, almost, at least 18 years, before I started to understand how I would use this music, because I was not interested in pursuing a musical career or being in the spotlight like that. I'm all about transformation. So that's how I use this gift now.
I love that. I want to add something real quick before you continue.
Absolutely.
So what I see happening right now in the universe and Earth is that a lot of people are having dark night of the souls, or even just like these gifts are present for them. And because it's only now becoming more widely shared, like us talking about this, like all of a sudden you're like downloading songs, you know what I mean? Like, what the heck? Maybe for someone else, it's mediumship abilities, like being able to communicate with people that have passed over, or they're getting psychic kits for people. I hear people share with me personally on a private level that this is happening for them and they don't know what to do with it. And they are scared, they're embarrassed, they're all these different feelings because people aren't sharing. So I just want to just really commend you, first of all, for sharing, for, even though it took you 18 years, for being here today to share your story. And I hope what I'm trying to do is kind of, I mean, I'll call it what it is, normalize like the spiritual journey of us as humans on Earth. And that, I mean, my belief is that there's something higher that we're working with and working towards. And it's like, we're given these gifts for a reason, and it's so normal. And you just, the more that we accept them and acknowledge them and share with them, then it's going to create that space for other people to do the same. Because they'll share with me personally, but then they don't, like, maybe none of their friends and family know, and they don't have any support, and they don't know where to go. And that's what my mission is here, is to, you know, help guide those people and connect them also with like people like you that can help guide them on their own transformational journey. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, because if you're here and you're watching this, I'm sure that there's something that has crossed your mind that you're like, oh yeah, I had this weird thing happen to me. Like, you know, all of a sudden I knew this, or whatever it is. So yeah, so sorry, I had to share that.
Yeah, and it's a very important mission you got there, Jennifer, because of course, when we feel alone and think that nobody would get this, and then a majority of people have these experiences, and it is part of the human experience, because we have this, we are in a body, we are a unlimited being in a body having a human experience. And the gift that I have, that I can bring in songs, it's a communication with that bigger part. And everyone can have that communication. It just looks differently. Like,
exactly,
we all have our zone of genius, and we have also been conditioned I don't know how it is in the US, but here in the Scandinavian countries, we have this very heavy cultural conditioning where you shouldn't amount to anything. You shouldn't believe that you are something. So for me to break through, it has been really challenging because my whole cultural upbringing is to blend in. And here I am receiving a gift that makes it impossible to blend in that way. And so I think each of us will have we will need to be courageous enough to bust through that resistance, whatever that might be. It's different in different cultures, but you are not alone.
Yeah.
And there is support to help you emerge.
Yes.
It doesn't have to take 18 years.
Right. And I'm on the same path as you. I'm like, dang it, I'm like on like 10 years. No, I'm probably like on 6 years, I think is my thing. But I'm still working through that resistance that you said. I am literally working through that right now with getting my membership up. It's like, I know that I'm supposed to create this membership to bring the people together so that we are not alone. We're stronger in numbers of, you know, spreading love and light and awareness and joy, consciousness. And then for people to also get the support that they need, like being in, you know, your year-long program or something like that, that they have a place that's like a little safe space. And that's what I'm doing, is connecting people to the places that they feel that they belong. So I love that you said that. Exactly. You just totally like all flowed perfectly in there. See, I told you we just wing this. This would be great. We're not we're just having a conversation. So okay, so back to how you got started. So we went off on a long tangent. But I felt like that was important because I like to explain as I'm doing things what I am doing and why I am doing it, so that when people watch, they can see how their life fits and how it fits into their life.
Yeah. So it feels like I got started once more this year, actually, because what happened this year for me, just a few days before my birthday, I realized that even though I have started, I mean, I have my coaching programs, I'm working online and also in person, and I'm doing the things, but I realized that I am not 100% committed. I am like that old boyfriend in 5th grade. When I asked him if he would go out with me, he said yes, and then he said, well, yes to 75%.
What does that even mean?
Yes. I don't know. I didn't follow up with that question, but I understood that 75% is really 0% when it comes to commitment, you know.
So it's basically
that dawned on me. That dawned on me that I was not fully committed, and that kept the door open for all kinds of resistance and fears and procrastinations and good reasons to not show up. So when I realized that, I made that 100% full body commitment to my higher path, to why I'm here this time. And without really knowing all the details of that, but I just felt like I cannot go dabbling in this way anymore. I need to go all in. And what I also said to the universe that day was, please bring me in the people that I'm to collaborate with, because I know that I am wired for partnership. And this is part of what I do also. I bring in a couple of systems for my coaching clients. I talk about their divine design, how they are energetically wired to be and create and make decisions. So it's a mix of the human design and the gene keys.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm wired for partnership, but I've been doing this alone. So I'm not thriving when I'm doing everything alone. So I asked for bring me in the people that I'm to collaborate with. And just a few days later, one of those people came into my life, and that is the person that I'm collaborating with now, with producing the music that comes through me. So it's not only my voice as it has been for 20 years, it's now also, it will be musical arrangements, so I can come out with the Heartsong activations in an album or Spotify or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So and then also a lot of other magical things started to happen. So that commitment to really give myself to my path changed a lot for me. And I think that is where many healers and coaches and creatives struggle. And these are the people mostly that I assist in my coaching. They are talented, they know that they are here to do something, and they might be having a business and they might be out there doing it, but they have this self-doubt, and often there is shame underneath, like subconsciously they are not worthy of doing what they are doing, or of receiving a good pay for what they are doing.
Yeah.
And that also keeps them from committing fully, because they don't believe that they don't believe it 100% in themselves.
Yep.
Mm.
I feel like, I mean, I know I definitely struggle with that, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, knowingly or maybe even unknowingly, you know?
Yeah, and it's not something that just goes away. I mean, I made that 100% commitment a few months back, and I really got to see the result of that. So many things started to fall into place. But self-doubt and shame and feelings of unworthiness, these are things that we need to address over and over again in new situations. But when we fully commit, this becomes part of the work. Like we know that, okay, that is the self-doubt talking again. Will it get all the airtime it used to be getting? No. Now I have my tools, or I can seek support, and that is leadership.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. Okay, so tell me, so you have an upcoming masterclass happening that is free for women only. Sorry, men.
Yes.
This is going to touch on, hold on, let me get the official name of it. It's called The Art of Receiving, which that is a skill that everybody needs to learn. And people like to think that they're really good receivers, but in my experience from myself, and also what I've witnessed, is that we have a lot to work on there. So you should attend the masterclass just because of that. And then it's going to be 3 potent practices to thrive as a healer. So you kind of said, like, I mostly work with people that are on their path now to their business, that are focused on healing and guides and helping people in their transformational journeys. So tell me about the masterclass.
Yes, this masterclass, it's birthed because of my own journey just this last year. Because what I realized was that I was not willing to receive. I was not willing to receive the clients I needed to receive. I was not willing to receive simple things like assistance with a bag. If someone offered to, I can carry that for you. No, I can do it myself. I was so it was like a resistance to open up and allow in love, support, resources into my life. And I started to practice, and I made it my top priority because it was so in my face that I cannot go on like this anymore. So I started to practice in different ways, and I will share 3 of the things that I practiced. And I started to see how things were shifting for me.
Mm-hmm. I've watched that shift happen in real time, not
You
only
have.
the last few years, but like over the last, I don't know, I'll just say 5 months. It's like I've seen the growth in the last 2 years, but then it was like catapulted. Like all of a sudden, it's just like Maria's here, Maria's here, Maria's here. Like I turn on my Facebook and you're doing an event, you're doing a class, you're doing a song reading. Like I was just like, she is hot. Like what? I was like, what has shifted for you?
Yeah.
And I've seen it. I've seen it happen. And I've seen the impact and the ripple effect that you are having upon people that are, in your containers or in your Facebook group that are being opened and witnessing this firsthand, and you're impacting them and inspiring them. And it's like, who knows what they're out there doing now too. So it's like, it's just so beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's like when you hit gold, and it really feels like I hit gold, then you just want everyone to know that you can do this too. And so in this masterclass, it will be, of course, there will be some teaching, but there will also be this experiential part. And my hope is that if you come, that you really will be inspired to keep doing the things that I will teach you. Because it's not a one hit wonder. Like you really have to practice and keep doing it, because we have practiced the lack mentality, the scarcity mentality for so long. So it takes a little bit to turn that around, but it's completely possible.
Yeah.
And we are all so powerful. We are powerful creators. It's just that we have been focused on what we don't want to create.
Correct. That is how society, at least in my world, I can only talk for myself, I look back and I see that I'm very good at like, oh, I don't want to get in a car accident. I don't want to, date a guy that smokes, right? But it's like the power of manifestation is that we manifest things, and they don't know about like those negative things. So it's so important, and people don't talk about this enough, to focus on what we do want and how we say it. So you were going to tell a story that kind of relates to one thing you're going to teach in the masterclass that you said you would share here today for people to kind of get an idea about how you manifested an expensive retreat trip by singing it in.
Yes. So in one of the days of the masterclass, we will talk about the voice and how powerful the voice is as a creative tool, as a healing tool. We are basically casting spells all day long with our voice. And a few years back, I found out about this beautiful retreat trip to Zanzibar. It was a luxurious thing. It was way out of my reach. But the name of this trip, it was The Longing and Desire of the Heart. And that name really, it touched me deeply. And I just knew I wanted to go on that trip. And first it was so impossible. The first year they offered this trip, it was so impossible, so I just let it be. But the second year, it took me a few weeks to come to the point where I admitted that I really want to go.
Yeah.
And that is the first part, you know, that you allow yourself to express. And I even expressed it out loud. I had a small yoga studio at the time, and I remember putting away things after class, and I heard myself say, I really want to go to Zanzibar on that trip. And that was opening a door. I had many reasons why this wasn't going to happen. I had small kids at the time. My husband was working a lot. So just the thought of me going away for 10 days, leaving him alone with the kids, that was impossible, I thought. And it was expensive. I didn't have the money. Impossible, I thought. But as I allowed myself to express that this is really something I want, I started to see that, yeah, but if I want it, there, and if I feel so strongly that this is for me, then there must be a way. So I started to sing every day after yoga class. I sang, and I sang in Swedish, but if I translate it, it sounds something like, Zanzibar, there's still one more spot for me and my longing heart. Ah, Zanzibar, there's still one spot left for me and my longing heart. And each time I sang it, I could feel the expansion, and I could feel, I had seen a couple of pictures, so I envisioned myself there, and it's really did something to me to sing this. And the reason why I sang It's Still One Spot Left was because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to pull this off soon enough. I thought it would be fully booked because the trip the year before had been sold out. And then after a few weeks, I was ready to talk to my husband, and he said, of course, if you find the money to the trip, of course, go, I'll handle the kids. So that was the big thing that just fell into place.
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation with my consciousness also, because I felt, how could I do this for me, just for me? And then I realized that this was actually not only for me, this would benefit my entire family, both my kids and my husband, that I went on this trip. And that was also very important for me to grasp, because I felt selfish before. And I'm saying this to all of you moms, that it's really, really a gift to your family when you fill your cup as a mom, because we hold space for everyone. And then magically, I got a tax return that covered half the trip. And that was enough for me to trust that I would manage to get the rest of the money. And I called the woman that was leading the retreat, and I got the last spot.
Wow, that's amazing.
And the day after, she told me afterwards, the day after, another woman called and wanted to come, but then the trip was full.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I've had so many experiences like this, so I know that this is truly real and it happens all the time. And I'm sure everybody watching can think of at least one thing that has happened like that for them. And so in the masterclass, you're going to teach some of these techniques and tools for bringing in and calling in the things that we want that are in alignment for us.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. What so what kind of like results or benefits do you think people will receive by attending the masterclass?
I think that they will receive both playful and very down-to-earth tools that I will teach. I think that they also will be inspired to get out of their own way.
Mm.
And I hope that they also will land on a deep level how important their work in the world is, and that so that they can value themselves enough to allow themselves to receive, because we cannot bring our magic unless we are filled up.
Yeah.
And it's our responsibility to master the art of receiving, so that we don't drain ourselves and burn out, because then we cannot bring our gifts when we do that. And it's time now to make sure that we give from the overflow instead of giving from the reserve battery. It's not sustainable.
No, and I think a lot of people, especially after COVID and having like work from home and having that extra free time, for us in the Bay Area of California, it's like not having to commute, say like 3 to 4 hours of your day. Like they're really seeing how burnt out and exhausted they were versus what happened in 2020. And that's like a catalyst for this shift that's happening in the world right now. For positive, that we are doing it and creating a new way of thinking and being and moving forward.
Yeah. And it's a new paradigm that we are stepping into.
Yes.
And the year-long program that I am soon opening doors, or I have opened doors already, but I'm fully open the doors next week. It's about it's also about how to navigate moving from the old paradigm as a feminine leader, healer, coach, teacher, creative, and that the new paradigm we are actually creating. It's not something that is already made, that is waiting for us. We are stepping into it and we are creating it. And that's why it's important to take charge and to consciously create.
Yeah.
Be that change that we wish to see.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so tell me, if someone wants to attend the masterclass, the dates and times, do you have that solidified now?
Yes. So it will be September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
Okay.
And the time is 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and all the other times you can figure out.
I'll Google it.
and 8 p.m. Central European time, and London time it will be 7 p.m. So 3 days, and I will probably also host some sort of Q&A, maybe some hot seat coaching later in that week on Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but
okay.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week.
This is happening online. It's free. It's September 21st to the 23rd. We'll just say 11 a.m. Pacific time. Google whatever time zone you're in to translate that. I'm so easy for me. Yeah. And that's going to be on Zoom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. And then what if someone's just interested in learning more, or even just joining your year-long program? Because I know you have a couple spots left.
So we will provide links for signing up to the masterclass, and also a link to my Facebook group.
Okay.
And while in there, you will also be invited to, if you want to chat with me, you can apply for a free purpose clarity session with me.
Okay. And that's going to be in the Facebook group?
Yes.
Okay.
And also it will also be together with the masterclass. You will be invited to chat with me if you want.
Got it. And yeah, so if anybody's interested in working with Marie in any of the ways that we've talked about, aside from the masterclass or the year-long program, I know you have other things out there and available. And I feel like people know when they are meant to work with someone. There's like, for me, it's like I'm very intrigued. I think about it a lot. Like we get off the call and I'm like still thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it later. And then I start to worry, like you, like with the one spots left for me, it's like, okay, that's how I really know when I want something. Cause I'm like, if it were taken away from me, like someone purchased it before I did, and then I couldn't get in, am I going to be bummed? And if the answer is yes, then I know that that's how I am. That's like that's one of my signs. So if you're feeling any call to Maria, you can join her Facebook group, Women Only, and schedule a call with her and see what she has to offer. She is phenomenal. I have worked with her several times. I've attended lots of her events, and she just has this such a grounding and calm energy, if you haven't felt that through the interview today, and just always so wise and loving and gentle, and just
You're embarrassing me, Jen.
it's all true things. I love when I actually know, really know the people who come on my show, because I am able to speak from my heart of my experience. And I do also tell people, like, always don't live off of my experience, because I'm my own person with a different path and everything else. Go where you are called to. So
yeah, absolutely. The resonance is super important.
Yes.
Jen, do you think we should leave them a musical gift too?
As long as I don't have to sing, yes.
Yes.
Lessons is
I'll get you to sing one day.
It's on my list. So
yeah, there is a free gift with a song that is called Lighthouse. That is a song activation. If you're interested in finding out more about those, that is a sample. And it also comes with a free mini course that you can explore if you want, how to use an activation and how to use it with your voice.
All right, we'll get all those links for everybody and post them so that they are able to find them very easily. And yes, please leave us with a song. I'm gonna mute out and lead the way.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to, it's another song that wants to come through right now. We can leave the link to Lighthouse, but it's a recent song activation that wants to come through now. Let's see. I feel her under my feet. I am supported by her, grounding into Mother Earth, guiding me through my life, through this birth. I feel him shining his light. His strength is keeping me safe, connecting to Father's sky, encouraging me to fly high. I'm ready for life to take me to where I can soar, to where I can thrive. I know now that nothing can break me. I'm starting to come fully alive. I'm starting to come fully alive. I'm starting to come fully alive.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Look at, see, you just like on the spot. You have amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
I wasn't prepared for that.
I know, but obviously something wanted to come through because I
Yes.
didn't even challenge you. You challenged yourself and was like, how about we do this? And I'm like, of course, let's do it. So
I love our interaction, Jen. It's always fun.
it's always a good time. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
let's not even plan what we're going to talk about. It'll just happen and it'll be fine. Like, I just trust that the conversation will always be there.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world and being my friend and in my world. I appreciate that as well. So.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you who followed along so far. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry. Thank you, Maria, for acknowledging the people watching this. They're the most important ones. Thank you, everybody. I was just so in awe of like, oh, I love her so much. So thank you. And until next time, we will see you then. Have an amazing day.